What's up, moviegoers? Welcome to the Marchio podcast. I'm your host, Anthony. Now, you might be asking yourself, what is Marchio podcast? Well, Marchio podcast will be about my views on the entertainment industry, mostly thoughts on movies, movie news, and ongoing movie projects that are in production or being released. I will also share news about projects that I am personally working on for Marchio Productions, which is my own independent film company, which specializes in short films, web series projects, and podcasts. Now, I also want to give a thank you to Joe Dougherty for putting together that amazing intro music. Joe, thank you for all you do and keep on rocking out, my friend. God bless you. Now, let's get right into today's episode. Happy New Year 2020, everybody. Can you believe it? It's a new year already. And not only is it a new year, it's a new decade. Yes, the 2010s are behind us and the 2020s are here. For this year, 2020, it has a lot of great movies coming out. But not only is this year going to be great, last year in 2019, we had an exceptional year and amazing time for movies. Now, it's that time of the year and award season is upon us. And this weekend on January 5th on NBC is the Golden Globe Awards, hosted by Ricky Gervais. Now, along with this episode and leading up to the 92nd Academy Awards on February 9th, 2020, I will be doing and giving my predictions and doing episodes for the SAG Awards, the BAFTA Awards, and of course, you guessed it, the Oscars. Now, the Golden Globe nominations were announced in December 2019. For this episode, I will be doing only the film categories. So, let's get started. Now, for Best Motion Picture Drama, we have 5 incredible films nominated. The nominees are 1917, The Irishman, Joker, Marriage Story, and The Two Popes. Now, if you ask me, I would think that, and I would actually say that The Irishman takes this award. It's a great film. A lot of people don't find it great. They say that all these actors are past their prime, which I disagree with, and that the CGI with the de-aging process was bad. The movie is 3.5 hours long. That's great. It's a Scorsese movie. Sit through it, enjoy it, and like it, and you won't have to worry about it. If you're talking about it and you're worried about the 3.5 hours, don't watch it. Watch it sporadically, and then you'll get used to it. But for me, I sat through it for 3.5 hours and actually enjoyed the heck out of it. It was a great film, and if you haven't seen it, do so. So my pick for Best Drama Motion Picture is The Irishman. Next, Best Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy. Now, let me say that the Hollywood Foreign Press Association does not always get this category correct. Because a few years ago, The Martian with Matt Damon was nominated in this category, and it was not a musical, nor was it a comedy. So I have no idea what they're thinking about. Here are the nominees for this year's musical or comedy. They are Dolomite Is My Name, Jojo Rabbit, Knives Out, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Rocketman. Now, if you ask me, all these movies are musical or comedy except for one, and that is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Directed by Quentin Tarantino, I find this movie not a musical, nor is it a comedy. Maybe the Hollywood Foreign Press sees it because of the 60s music that is in it and the comedy between Brad Pitt and Leo DiCaprio, but other than that, this is not that. It's not a musical, nor is it a comedy. I would love to be sitting in that meeting going, okay, let's put this movie in there because we think it's a musical or comedy. Or let's put a horror movie in this category because it's a musical or comedy. No. This category makes no sense and never did make any sense, and they don't get it right this year again. But if I had to choose a movie to win in this category, it would be Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Next up, we have the Best Acting Awards. For Best Performance in a Motion Picture Drama by an Actor, the nominees are Christian Bale, Ford Ferrari, Antonio Banderas, Pain and Glory, Adam Driver, Marriage Story, Joaquin Phoenix, Joker, and Jonathan Pryce, The Two Popes. This category does surprise me a lot because I wouldn't see Christian Bale being nominated for Ford Ferrari. I did see the movie. It was fantastic, as always. And him and Matt Damon have great chemistry. And as I'm watching it, I didn't really think Christian Bale was award-worthy of his role. I mean, he did play Ken Miles perfectly, and he actually is a supporting actor in that movie and not basically a main actor. But I guess the Hollywood Foreign Press saw it differently. But if I had to pick who would win in this category, I would have to go with Antonio Banderas for Pain and Glory. He is an underrated actor in our time, and he should have won numerous awards for other roles he's done, but I see him winning this one, and he's getting a lot of praise for the role in Pain and Glory, so I would say that Antonio Banderas takes the Best Actor award in this category. Next up, we have Best Performance in a Motion Picture Drama by an Actress. The nominees are Cynthia Erivo for Harriet, Scarlett Johansson in Marriage Story, Saoirse Ronan for Little Women, Charlize Theron for Bombshell, and Renee Zellweger for Judy. We have 5 great nominees in this category for Best Actress. And for me, I actually see Renee Zellweger as Judy taking this award. She's also an underrated actress, and she should have won for Chicago when it came out. Her talent ranged completely in that movie, from singing, dancing, and acting. It was great, and she should have won then. So I see Renee Zellweger taking this award for Best Actress for Judy. I believe that she's going to sweep the award season this year, and it's going to be fantastic to see because it's well-deserving, and she rightfully so deserves it. Now, next up, we have Best Performance in a Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy. The performances for Best Actor in a Musical or Comedy are Daniel Craig, Knives Out, Roman Griffin Davis for Jojo Rabbit, Leonardo DiCaprio for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Taron Egerton for Rocketman, and Eddie Murphy in Dolomite Is My Name. Now, if you ask me, this category is, once again, just like the Best Picture, Musical, or Comedy. It makes no sense. But, it's interesting to see because Eddie Murphy is nominated for Dolomite Is My Name. And my surprise in this category is Roman Griffin Davis for Jojo Rabbit. The young actor is great in that movie. He's very funny. He does have a fantastic career ahead of him. And this is one way to get him noticed and one way to get him on the map. But if I had to pick who would win in this category, I would have to pick Daniel Craig for Knives Out. Daniel Craig was great in that movie as Detective Benoit Blanc. I mean, how can you not love that name? Benoit Blanc. It's so good. It's fantastic. And seeing him nominated in this category is good because he will walk away with the Best Actor in a Musical or Comedy. So my pick is Daniel Craig. Now up next, we have Best Performance in a Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy by an Actress. We have Ana de Armas for Knives Out, Awkwafina for The Farewell, Cate Blanchett for Where'd You Go, Bernadette, Beanie Feldstein for Booksmart, and Emma Thompson for Late Night. Now, the reason I have some doubts about this category is Awkwafina in The Farewell. Her movie that she made was not a musical, nor was it a comedy. It was more so a drama. And when I did go see it, there were people in the audience laughing at times where they should not have been laughing. But I did enjoy it, and it was a great movie to see. Awkwafina does take it in this category, even though it's not the right category for her to be in, but she's going to win it for The Farewell. So my pick is Awkwafina. And up next, we have Best Supporting Performance in a Motion Picture by a Supporting Actor. Now, let me just say that this category is beyond mind-blowing. You have 5 tremendous actors of our time, 5 of the best in the business, and it just goes to show that this is going to be the tough category this season during award season. We have Tom Hanks for A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, Anthony Hopkins, The Two Popes, Al Pacino, The Irishman, Joe Pesci, The Irishman, and Brad Pitt, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Does this category get any better than that of what I just described and what I just said? No, it does not, because the awards and the accolades that these 5 actors have combined is tremendous. Now, if I had to pick who would win in this category, it's very hard to pick because you have great actors, but I would have to go with Brad Pitt in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. After seeing that movie when it came out, I automatically said Brad Pitt is going to be nominated for every supporting actor award he has in this award season, and rightfully so. It's deserving. He stole the show in that movie, and he made it his, and Brad Pitt is my pick to win Best Supporting Actor. Up next, we have Best Supporting Performance in a Motion Picture by a Supporting Actress. The nominees are Kathy Bates, Richard Jewell, Annette Bening, The Report, Laura Dern for Marriage Story, Jennifer Lopez, Hustlers, and Margot Robbie, Bombshell. Now, while all these movies are interesting to say the least, I would have to say that Laura Dern takes it for Marriage Story. She did a great job in that movie. It's outstanding, and she finally deserves her acting award because her lineage of actors in her family is great. Her father, Bruce Dern, is a fantastic actor, and his craft went on to her, and it shows, especially in this movie. So I'm going to say that Laura Dern from Marriage Story wins it in Best Supporting Actress. Next up, we have Best Director. The nominees are Bong Joon-ho for Parasite, Sam Mendes for 1917, Todd Phillips for Joker, Martin Scorsese for The Irishman, and Quentin Tarantino for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Great list of nominees, but I would have to say, and I have to go with Bong Joon-ho for Parasite. Parasite is one of the best films of 2019 and is my favorite of last year. And I have to say that it's a great film. He directed the movie with such craft. It's unique to watch, and it keeps you on your toes. And it's good to see that a foreign Asian director is getting noticed and nominated for a movie like this. So my pick is Bong Joon-ho for Parasite. Next up, we have Best Screenplay. We have Noah Baumbach for Marriage Story, Bong Joon-ho and Han Jin-won for Parasite, Anthony McCartan for The Two Popes, Quentin Tarantino for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Steve Zalian for The Irishman. While I do want to pick Parasite to win Best Screenplay, I would have to say that Quentin Tarantino once again wins an award for Best Screenplay for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. The last two times he's won were for Pulp Fiction and Django Unchained, two great, well-written movies. And this one, for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, is just even better or maybe on par as those two films. Tarantino is a fantastic director. Let's not forget that. But I would have to say that his writing in his films are slightly better than his directing. The dialogue he comes up with, the pacing, and everything, and every interaction he has with his characters, and the chemistry that they possess is great. So I see Quentin Tarantino winning for Best Screenplay for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Up next, we have Best Animated Feature Film. The nominees are Frozen 2, How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World, The Lion King, Missing Link, and Toy Story 4. Let's get this one thing out of the way. The Lion King is nominated for Best Animated Feature Film. I'm sorry, did we re-release the 1994 version? Because I sure as hell didn't think that. I mean, The Lion King is a live-action movie. I guess the Hollywood Foreign Press thought that, let's put this in the Best Animated Feature category. It's not an animated movie. It's a live-action movie. Yes, but we have CGI animals fine. It's computer graphic imagery. We know that. We have that. The Lion King is a live-action film. It's a redone version. It's more so added scenes and different ways of doing it, but it's not the 1994 version, so I don't know why that movie is in this category. Now, my pick in Best Animated Feature is Frozen 2. I can't say anything wrong about Frozen 2. The first one was great. The second one is even better than the first. And it just goes to show that the animation in that movie is crisp, clean, and fantastic. The music is even better. And I say that Frozen 2 takes it in Best Animated Feature Film. Now, next up, we have Best Foreign Language Film. We have The Farewell, Les Miserables, Pain and Glory, Parasite, and Portrait of a Lady on Fire. Now, I will say that at first glance you might think, Les Miserables, they did it again. No, it's not what you think. Look it up about what this foreign language film version is, and you'll see it's not the musical that you think, but it's different, and it's quite mind-opening that what it describes. Now, if I had to pick in this category who would win Best Foreign Language Film, I would have to go with Bong Joon-ho's Parasite. As I said before when I was talking about Best Director, Parasite is a fantastic movie. And if you have not seen it, do so. Because when it wins the big top awards, you'll really want to watch it. Because then you'll see how fantastic this movie is. So my pick is Parasite for Best Foreign Language Film. Well, moviegoers, that does it for today's episode. If you want to follow the Marchio Podcast and Marchio Productions, I will leave the link in the description box below. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And be sure you click that notification bell right next to that subscribe button. This way you'll be up to date on when new episodes will arrive and when they'll be airing. I'm your host, Anthony, and you've been listening to the Marchio Podcast.